I'm making you work on a Sunday. That's not okay, but that's what came up on the Wheel of Destiny. So here we are with another episode of Let's Solo. We learned the shape everybody knows and loves, right? Let's use the key of A minor. That's the easiest one to think about because there's no sharps or flats in it. So just to review, the first shape that people generally learn, and we learned, is 5/8, 5/7, 5/7, 5/7, 5/8, 5/8, right? Well, that's just the 5 notes, A, C, D, E, and G, and then you repeat it, and then repeat it a little bit more. Right, so you can play those 5 notes anywhere, and that's what the other 4 shapes are of the pentatonic scales are for. You know what I meant. We're gonna do the shape down here now. 3, 5, 3, 5, 2, 5, 2, 5, 3, 5, 3, 5. They kind of get not as easy to remember, and that's why everyone learns this one first. It's the easiest one to remember, or maybe everyone just learns it first, so therefore it's the easiest one to remember. I don't know. But yeah, relative, the one we usually do, the one we're doing now, is below on the next. So, one more time. 3, 5, 3, 5, 2, 5, 2, 5, 3, 5, 3, 5, and that's the same notes, A, C, D, E, and G, just in a different order. So it's kind of like a different voicing of the same scale, right? So we've got G, A, C, D, E, and then it repeats from there. G, A, C, D, E, followed by a G, A. So step 1, memorize that shape. Step 2, turn on your favorite song in the key of A minor or whatever key and just change where it is, right? Let's say your song is in the key of B minor, which is the shape everyone knows and loves. 7, 10, 7, 9, 7, 9, 7, 9, 7, 10, 7, 10. And then the shape we just discussed will be in relatively the same position below that one. So our B minor version would be 5, 7, 5, 7, 4, 7, 4, 7, 5, 7, 5, 7. So step 2 is find your favorite song in whatever key, and now you don't just have this much space to solo in, you have this much space to solo in. So do all your noodling. Don't worry if it doesn't sound like anything. Just noodle around, get more comfortable with stuff. You just have twice as much space to look much cooler doing it now. Here's a little move I like to do to tie them both together. Start on the 3rd fret of the E string. That's the bottom, bottom, bottom of the stuff we know how to do now, right? So go 3, 5 to the A string, 3, 5. Now we're going to slide up 2, and voila, we are in the shape everyone knows and loves now, right? The quote-unquote minor pentatonic. And then you do whatever you want. It's just a nice little way to begin. If you've been noodling around a little bit and you got to this 2-5-2-5 situation and found it rather unhelpful for much of anything, well, that's the thing with the different shapes. They'll kind of lend themselves to being convenient for different things. But one thing that the shape we just did is good for is, like, let's say you want to be all... right, that C note on the E string 8th fret and land on A. But that's another 3 frets away situation, which isn't so great. But what you can do, and it happens in the Yellow Ledbetter solo, and all the time, everywhere, all the time, is from there, A5, slide down into the new shape, and then you can land on that E5 really conveniently. You can even give it a little wiggle if you like. Super convenient. To expand on that example, the Yellow Ledbetter solo spends its time in C-sharp minor pentatonic, right? And that starts with the shape everyone knows and loves, so I guess Mike McCready is included in that list of knowers and lovers, but here it comes. Right there, that's when we slide down into the shape we just learned, and then we spend some time there. That note is not in the C-sharp minor pentatonic scale, but it is in the C-sharp minor scale, so that's why he used it. It could have been that one, but I assume he ran into the whole 3 frets apart pain in the butt thing. Not so easy. Not that anything about anything Mike McCready does is easy. But one of the cool things about the different shapes is for every move you learn in one shape, you can do that same move in a different shape and it'll sound different since the shape is a different voicing of the scale. The move is going to be a different voicing of the move. So for instance, the move we went over, the hammer triplets, so let's be, again, in A minor, and I'm going to start on B5, hammer up to 8, and end up on E5. Right? But if we do that, so that's the shape everyone knows and loves, but if we do that down here on this nice little box here from the shape we just learned, I'm going to be on B3 and 5 and end up on E3. Now that just happens to be the start of the daughter solo, but it just happens to be the same. We're in the key of A minor because we're in the key of A minor in our heads. And these notes aren't not in the key of G, which is the key of daughter, but they just happen to line up together. So there you go. One move to learn with your fingers, but 2 different moves, and we've got 3 more shapes to do, so that's 5 for the price of 1, right? More on the daughter solo point. So right, it goes, but then it hits that note. That's a note in the G major pentatonic, not in the A minor pentatonic, so that's when it branches off. But all of the shapes are going to have, you know, somewhere between nothing and a lot in common with any other key. The point is the guitar neck is a big soup, and you can play in any key anywhere. So certainly you could play an A minor here, or G major here. Watch this. A minor, G major. It's just a matter of what you're thinking in your head. And that's about all I have to say about that shape. There's not a lot of usefulness in that shape because of that hole on the D and the G string where it's, you know, 3 frets apart, so it's kind of difficult. And I guess that's why I chose that shape, because there's not a whole lot to think about. But now you can enjoy looking twice as cool soloing over twice as much of the neck as before. So I hope that was helpful. I hope you enjoyed that. Thank you so much for joining me, and I will see you next time with more stuff. Goodbye.